Hi, this is Michael Allen at D'Angelo. We're on a bus going up to the border of Nicaragua, which is Piñas Blancas, and we're going to show you how to get across the border. Because it can be a little tricky sometimes. There's 2 or 3 things you got to do, and it can get a little bit of confusion. So we'll show you how that goes. Hopefully it'll go good. So. Okay guys, Nicaragua border crossing time in 5 minutes. All right, here we're pulling up in Nicaragua. We're seeing this line, and it's long. It can be short or long, and it can be slow or fast. This one happened to take us about an hour to get through the doors, which you're going to see here in a second. Now, the first thing you're going to do getting off the bus, you're going to be hounded by the people that want to change your money. You don't have to do it at this time because they're all over the place. We do, only because we kind of know what we're doing. If you're easily distracted or you don't know the rate, I would not do it here. It is their job to rip you off, and you're going to see them in a minute. Their calculators they carry don't mean anything. You should either A, have your own calculator, or B, know what you're doing as far as a conversion. We do this here because you do kind of need Cordobas. On the Nicaragua side, they don't really like the colones from the Costa Rican side, and vice versa. You might need it for tipping, and they're not going to be real happy with $20 bills and that kind of thing. So we do change it here. In the line you're going to see in a second, that's where they pass out the forms. You know, the forms that you would get on an airplane when you're crossing, going into another country. You don't have to pay these little kids and the people who are giving you the forms. They're working off a tip, but you can actually get those forms for free, up at the window. But I would encourage you to fill them out before you get up to the window, or you're going to be pushed aside and you're going to be waiting. So either go up to the window beforehand and get the form, buy it from one of those little kids or who's ever selling them. You can just give them seriously like 10 cents tip. It doesn't matter. So you see we're inside right now, and as soon as we get our passport stamped, now the good thing is you don't have to pay anything to leave Costa Rica like you do at the San Jose airport that has a $26 departure tax. So here you're not paying. You go into the left of the building here. We walked out, and it's about a 7-minute walk. And we're going to come up to these border crossing guards. You see them right there ahead. And you can actually get your passport checked about 2 or 3 times in this little area. So you see D'Angelo there getting ready to go through, and he's going to pop out right there. Now guys, hey, it can be dusty and hot here, so I would definitely recommend maybe a hat or sunblock, that kind of thing. Now, these people will help you. There's kids, even adults or whatever, they'll help you actually do this whole process for a small tip. And we actually did it the first time, and you'll see the kid we used a little bit later. You don't need to, but it was kind of nice the first time because it is kind of, you're going all over the place. So again, they're all over the place. They'll help you. Now, do not bargain for a taxi at this point. They're going to keep asking you if you need taxis. Matter of fact, this guy in the red you're going to see is going to come up to D'Angelo, and he's going to try to get him in line. If he wants to pay to, ditch him in line, he's going to try to give him a form, another passport form that you need on this Nicaragua side. He's going to ask him if he needs all kinds of things. He's just, the personal concierge type of thing. D'Angelo's probably telling him, I don't need much from you, but I'll take your form because I want to fill it out here. We're going to go around to this window here. You're going to see it's $7, and they don't really like the $20 bills, and they're not going to take colones. So, that's why we kind of exchanged some money. It gets a little disorganized here. I wouldn't get in that line that's extending out. You can all those windows are actually doing the same thing, and you can actually move around and get in there. You got to be a little aggressive here because you can lose your place really quickly. Okay, so we're done. We paid our $7, and we're walking in front of the bus station, and we're actually doubling back onto that dusty road that we had left before. So we paid our $7, and we're going up to go into Nicaragua now, and you're going to see the little gate. Now, when you pass through the gate, you're going to see that's where you want to negotiate your taxi. All the buses are over there to Rivas, Managua, Granada, and they leave all the time. You don't have to worry about catching a bus. They're always around. The taxis will fight for you over there, so you're liable to get a better price. So those kids and everybody, they're coming up to you beforehand on the, before the gate. Do not talk taxi with them. Tell them, and they'll try to tell you, oh, a bus doesn't go there. A bus doesn't go there. Well, the buses do go there, so don't believe that. They're working off the tips of the taxi drivers. So, again, wait till you go past the gate. Let's see. Okay, so we're getting ready to go through, and you got to pay $1 here. It's actually a scam. It actually says it's a volunteer dollar. I can tell you, it is not a volunteer dollar. You do have to pay it, and it's just a small gate. and you're going through, and you're pretty much going to be on your way. You're going to see D'Angelo's going to actually help these these people we picked up. They almost got ripped off, so we kind of took them under our wing a little bit, and he's going to negotiate a taxi for him up to actually San Juan del Sur. Now, they tried to tell us that there was no buses going there, but they decided to take a taxi, which is cool, and that's what they're doing here in a second. You're going to see. We end up taking a bus, and we're headed to Granada. So that's kind of the way to get through the border in less than 5 minutes, and this whole process will normally take you around at least 2. Here's our bus. We seem to be downgrading a bit. Here's our new mascot.
Eso, Minerva.
Say hola.
Hola.